just tell you it's on YouTube. Hi, happy Tuesday. We are live. Welcome to my kitchen. You are in Sarah's kitchen, and we're making our tahini pastry from scratch. I made the dough yesterday, but it disappeared. I'm not going to make it again right now on YouTube. We're just going to roll out the dough, but I'll talk to you guys about it, and I promise I will make the dough over again and put that also on YouTube. It's similar, somewhat similar to my own simple dough. The only way that it's different is it really takes only 1 cup of milk, so it's a little bit drier. It has 1 egg, and it has about 1/4 cup to 1/3 cup in addition to the butter, oil, canola, vegetable, whatever you like. I prefer avocado oil. You guys know that, right? So it was so yummy, and I have it. I have the done cookie from yesterday to show you guys. I want to make another bunch, and I want to make them a little smaller into like smaller cookies, not a big. The one I had yesterday was big, and I'll show you guys. Here it is, right? And that's cut in half. So it was big size. Here it is. But and it's falling apart on me because it's so crumbly and it's so tasty. Look at all those layers. And I'm going to show you guys how this magic is done. So let's take the crumbs off my board. I'm going to use a board, and I'm going to divide the dough actually today into 4 pieces. Yesterday I cut it into half. This is our dough after it rises, so it's nice and puffy. You see that? It's not a ball anymore. I'm just gonna scrape it out of here. It smells so good. This dough also has tahini right in it, inside the dough. So it has tahini inside, and it's gonna get some tahini on the filling, and it's going to be spectacular. I'm just simply cutting the dough into quarters, okay? You don't have to stress over making it into this shape, then making it into that shape. This is a little more, I don't want to say wet. Make sure you guys covered if you guys have a fly roaming around your kitchen, because the minute you open the door, flies come in, and they're always hard to find. All right, so this dough is kind of denser thanks to the additional oil it has. I talked about that yesterday. And it's kind of also because of the egg that's in it. So I'm just gonna go into my little ball, right? It's not as wet, it's more dense. It kind of feels like cookie dough-ish. It's a pastry dough. It's not a bread dough. Keep that in mind if you're planning on making it. And it's obviously always easier to use and work with a dough when it's been chilled. I didn't chill it because I just leave in the morning. I know in the back of my head what I'm doing when I get home for you guys. And I did not think that I would get home this late. I got flour on my face. All right, here we go. We're gonna roll this out nice and thin. You want it to be nice and thin because you're gonna roll this up. And because this dough is different, it's not bready, it's not gonna rise, okay? It's gonna be more like a pastry, like a cookie, drier cookie. Imagine that. And I don't know why this kind of came out really crooked in shape, so it's okay, because what I'm planning on doing with it is getting it nice and thin. And then what I really want to do is make this into 2 separate cookies, which is fine. There's a little weirdness here. You see that? This part is weird. I'm just going to cut it through. Here's 1, here's 2. Really simple. It's super simple. That's it. I rolled the dough out, And then my filling is going to be, knife. My filling is going to be butter, brown sugar, and more tahini, okay? And my butter is nice and cold. It could be soft, room temperature, but I have a trick up my sleeve I want to show you guys. This actually works really cool. I'm going to slice this really good Italian, European, high in fat butter. You guys have heard me talk about using high quality butter because it's high in fat, so it has more flavor. You need to use less. That's about 2 tablespoons of butter. And then we're gonna scrape out some of this tahini, about the same amount, 2 tablespoons of tahini. And Ara went ahead and put my tahini in the refrigerator, so it's hard as a rock, which is actually going to help me with my secret plan. And my secret plan is, I'm bringing this board because I don't want to hear my plate hitting the counter. And then, you know, I told you guys yesterday what I do is I kind of make this kind of like a crumble. Oh, I was going to say, I swear I brought a fork. Kind of like a crumble texture. So I'm putting brown sugar in it. You could use white sugar. There's no problem with that. You're not going to ruin it or anything. That was a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So about 2 tablespoons. Now this is going to be good for the whole thing. You can use your fingers or you can use your fork. If I use my fingers, that butter is going to melt really quickly. I just might actually get in there. It might be quicker, and I don't want to keep you guys long. Sorry, something happened. Okay, I don't know what happened with YouTube, but here we are. I'm just going to make this crumble. Now remember, the key to this is really, really the fact that the dough also has tahini in it. So when you're making this, this is one of my inspirational recipes from my trip to Turkey, Istanbul. We loved it, and I was obsessed with this pastry. I would have it in the morning with tea and coffee. I would have a bite midday with tea and coffee after walking up and down that gorgeous country. It was just, I couldn't get enough of it. I just couldn't get enough of the flavor. It was so different. It was so, so different. Hello from Westlake Village. How are you doing with the heat? My neighbor. We were going to go to Westlake today, and then it was just too hot. I'm still jet lagged. I couldn't get myself to go all over the place. But Giselle wanted to go. Okay, so I made my crumble, right? There it is. And what I'm going to do is now dish after dish. Here we go. We're going to take it, and we're just going to add it to this. Now you can use a knife to spread it out and soften it. It's getting softer because you touch it with your fingers, and it truly does start melting this. Here's where it's going to become more your cup of tea. I was going to say, I didn't say I like love. I was going to say I like it. I love the flavor of this tahini and the brown sugar in there. I absolutely loved it. This is why I put it in my dough also. If you find recipes out there or you know recipes out there, I don't think they have the tahini in the dough. I prefer it. I want it really rich. So you don't need to text me or DM me. Some of you send me different parts. It's from here or there. I love you guys for educating me. I'm all for that. Don't mind. Please do. I had it at Turkey when we went to Turkey in Istanbul. If it's not a Turkish delight, that's okay. I got inspired there, so that's where this is going. Here we go. Right? That's it. It's spread evenly. And then I'm going to roll it. I want to move it so you guys can see how I will roll this. I'm going to take it from lengthwise, right? Hello, everybody. Instagram is live. They're talking to me. This is really, really, really thin, guys. This cookie is so cookie or pastry. It's more like a pastry. It's so thin. This dough, you roll it out really thin, which is why I recommend you cut it into quarters, or even then this was a quarter and then a half. So really this is more like an eighth of the dough. I'm gonna make this really small. And if you see flour in the bottom, because remember we floured the surface, same rule applies. Just kind of brush off the flour. This recipe is completely mine. I did ask to a few bakers there. I went to I told you guys my phone cracked, so I couldn't go live and show you guys, but I did speak to a few bakers there. Now look at what I do. I kind of pinch and flatten and stretch it. Still get it to go longer. I did go to few bakeries and ask them. None of them had the tahini in the dough, and they were very kind of offended that I suggested it. That's okay. I'm the recipe developer. This is my twist on it. I'm not here to step on anyone's tippy toes. I like it like this. I put it in the dough as well. Look at that. You see how I'm just rolling that into a little roll? Voila, tip the bottom under, and there is our first roll. Thank you guys. I'm excited I'm back too. And then what you can add on top is some egg wash, butter, and then I flatten it a little, right? Just get it to flatten out. Ooh, ooh, kind of looks like a snail. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is have the oven ready. I'm gonna add parchment paper to my baking sheet. Or if you guys prefer those non-stick sheets for cookies, that whatever you prefer is fine with me. And then how I like to lift this baby up is just, it's delicate now, right? There it is. We're gonna put this and bake it right about 320. 320, 350 is fine, but you gotta keep an eye on it. Because I made it smaller than the one yesterday, I'm gonna go lower temperature. I want it to slowly cook so it doesn't get burnt. The first batch I made did get a little golden in the bottom, but it's still amazing. Amazing. Ara and I and Bobby and Darius, I don't know if that was proper lingo, we love it. It's not Giselle and Nicholas's cup of tea, which is fine. And this is kind of like a halva, if you imagine. It's just tahini, brown sugar, and butter. And it's a spread. And I'm just spreading it over here. You guys saw me just make it. If YouTube is coming in, Instagram viewers are just tuning in. The beginning was basically me making this, rolling out the dough, talking about the dough and how different it is, that it has tahini in it. And that's also how I do my matcha buns. I put the green tea matcha in the dough as well. So it really infuses the dough, not just the filling. Spread this out as thin or thick as you like. I love the spread. I told my sister last night, I said, you have to come and see what I made. And she came and we both sat and talked a little about the engagement party and had a piece of cookie late at night. There it is. And I'm going to roll this. So lengthwise. It's really user-friendly. Do not panic. Yes, I said yesterday on my live that disappeared. The more I travel around the world, the more different regions, countries, foods I eat, I realize how much we're all so similar rather than different. I feel like what happens is somebody finds a recipe, like I did, brings it back, flips it or develops it or something, puts their own twist on it. Look, I want every little bit to have that tahini in it. I just do. Puts their twist on it and makes it their own. So let's back up and kind of, here we go. Explore this recipe. You don't like tahini? Put almond butter. You don't like almond, you're allergic? Put peanut butter. Put cashew butter. Put any butter you like. Why just settle with cinnamon and sugar like we do here? Put anything you want in there. I'm going to develop all of those, and I love you guys. I'll go live with you in a little bit. I will develop all of those, and look, I'm just tapping it, and I'm gently stretching out this dough, right? And watch what I do. Yesterday, I put the thinner end inside. I'm not going to do that. Learning experience makes perfect. I'm going to leave the thinner end to tuck it. So don't worry about that. Just kind of roll it, literally. Just roll it around like a snail. And then tuck the thinner end right under and push it down now. Gently push it down, flatten it out. As you're pushing it down, all of that filling, ooh, it's getting everywhere. There it is. Where's my spatula? There it is. You see? Second cookie. And I'm going to put it right there. And that's it. Why don't I make a little bit more? Because I have the dough, right? And you know what else I want to do here is I'm going to make 2 more. Because I think I'm going to have people come over tonight and I want them. I can't just put 2 pieces in front of them. Hi, lovies. So the next thing I'm going to do with the rest of my dough, I'm going to experiment. It is a test kitchen here, right? I tell you guys, everything I do, I've proved that it works. So what I'm going to do with the rest of the dough is freeze it for a couple of days and then pop it out and see how it does. Then I can tell you guys, you can make this ahead, freeze it, or it won't work. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to roll this other out, this other quarter of the dough. It is warm. This is fresh. So it is kind of soft and buttery and oily. And it has tahini in it. So yes, yum, yum. It's rich. This is a rich delight. This is a rich delight. It's kind of like cookie dough. It's kind of like cookie dough, but it has tahini in it. This cookie, I call it a cookie or pastry. Notice how the dough isn't getting stuck to my roller. because it's denser and it has way more oil in it. That's good. I think I want to go just a little bit thinner still. Anyways, happy summer to you guys. My boys started school today, and Giselle will start school next week. I'm excited. I can get back to work. Having the kids around has been kind of slowed me down with my posts and my cooking. I'm cooking, but I'm always running around with them still. So it's kind of time consuming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this beautiful thin layer, yet still in half. Yeah, and I want it long. So I'm going to cut it that way. And I'm going to scrape this tahini paste spread that I made, which is just tahini, equal parts tahini, butter, and brown sugar. Equal parts. You can add cinnamon to it too if you like. I added cinnamon to the one I made yesterday. And then just spread it over. It's kind of like halva. Halva is made out of tahini. Well, there are different types of halva. But I love having halva, by the way, in my cheese tray too. Just adding different. This is how I made it. I took some butter, equal parts butter. So this is 1 tablespoon of butter. And then I took some tahini, another tablespoon of tahini. The oven is going strong. It is so hot. Just don't stress it, people. Use your finger. My tahini was put in the refrigerator. Tablespoon of tahini. Oh, so cute, baby girl. She is ready for school. She has another week to go. And a tablespoon of brown sugar. I eye it. You guys want to measure? Feel free. You're not going to kill it if it has a little bit more butter or tahini or sugar. There we go. Once you use your fingers, the butter will melt and it's easier to spread with a knife, believe it or not. It's so heavy. I told you. Come say hi to everyone. Come around this way with your backpack. Come. She's ready to go, people. Go around. Go around me. She's ready to go to school.
The good thing is you can hold it by here.
Did you say hello? Well, that's heavy. I know. Did you put everything in there?
Yeah.
Okay, we're ready. There it is. So now I have actually like a butter spread of tahini and sugar. Okay, girly. I didn't hear you say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Okay. Here we go.
That's fine.
Okay, good.
It'll be good because it has all my stuff in it. But like the next day, it won't be so heavy because all my things will be at school.
Right. Okay.
So we're safe.
You're the one. I told you get a rolly backpack. You decided you want this one. So you see how it feels the first week, and then we can get a rolly.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye. Here we go. We're going to roll this baby up lengthwise. Remember lengthwise because we want it to have enough length to kind of twirl around like a snail. And it's that kind of roll. I did have another pastry over there. I'm going to try that for you guys. That one was made with phyllo dough. No. Not phyllo dough. The other one. Giselle, what's the other one? The sheets. The pastry sheets. My brain is blank. Hi, everyone. Giselle, they're saying hi, G.
Hi.
You want this to be nice and tight. Nice and tight. You go slow. You don't want any air gaps in there. And then just there. Tuck it to where the seam is under, right? And then tap it and stretch it. Tap it and stretch it. That way it gets all, ooh, gooey goodness. And then just roll it. For God's sakes, how simple is this? Giselle, you want to come make the last one?
No thanks.
Oh, I'm surprised. Why? What are you doing? Oh, listen, easy with that chamoy sauce because it's all food coloring. And then just tap it flat. Make it into like a snail cookie. Here we go. There it is. Lift it up and voila. Some butter over the top, some egg wash, and it's done and doneer. Last one, my lovies. Then I'm gonna come back and make some amazing chicken kebab with you guys. And use my chicken marinade and then put a twist on it. You guys are loving it. It's gonna be chicken skewers right inside the kitchen on the stove. It's too darn hot to be outside.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Libby. Ooh. Good Italian European butter. Tahini. Remember, equal parts. And then we're gonna bake it at 320, 325, 350, depending on your oven. I like 320 because mine gets really hot. The other thing I should tell you guys is to have those thermometers, temperature gauges in your oven hanging. Even though the outside says 350, it sometimes gets it as hot as 400. So have one of those gauges inside your oven rack. They sell them everywhere. Amazon, Target, Walmart, wherever you want, wherever you're always shopping. Sometimes even the supermarkets have it. Put it on there and check the temperature. You know when they say set the alarm at so-and-so, preset the alarm, preset the oven at this temperature. Once you preset the oven at 350 and you're ready to bake, actually open the door and look at what that gauge is telling you. Mine is always hotter than it's supposed to be. So when a recipe tells you certain degree, you have to think outside the box. No one can tell you exactly what temperature for how long. You gotta be aware, you gotta check on your food, whatever you're baking, you gotta feel the top, get used to and familiar with your baking, your cooking, and really, really, I encourage you to feel things with your fingers and you'll get an idea. Believe me, I used to hear this and think, what? I'll never figure that out. Now, people ask me and I say, I can't tell you how long to bake your steak for. I don't know how thick your steak is. I don't know what you like. You gotta start feeling the top. Get used to that. Start practicing. Listen, trial and error, I swear to God, it makes it perfect. The more you mess up, the sooner you learn. If you overcook it, you're like, okay, live and learn. I can sit here and give you guidelines, but I want you guys to kind of perfect your own methods, right? Here we go. Just roll it up slowly. This is the last piece. Then it's going to go in the oven, and I am so excited to get it out. Okay. I'm going to brush it with some butter. I'm not going to sprinkle brown sugar over. I did yesterday, but I won't today. Hi, lovies. Okay, here we go. And just tap it and stretch it just so all that goodness, filling, butter, stuffing, whatever you want to call it, kind of gets gooey all over and gets incorporated into your dough, right? And just roll it, roll-a-poly. If you have flour on your dough, you gotta brush it off because that'll make it harden. See how I tap it? I make it fill into the grooves as I'm tapping it. And this wasn't that long. It took 30 minutes to do 4 of these rolls. And I mean, I'm going slow because I want you guys to see. There it is. I tap it, I flatten it. The edges kind of get married together. And here I go. I'm gonna put it right on my parchment. Though I feel like my parchment paper needs to be a little bit longer. Right? Number. And they're not gonna spread, so you don't need to worry about that. There's that beautiful pastry cookie. I'm going to, actually, I'm gonna brush it with more of my filling right over the top. There you go. You could do dry sesame seeds. I'm gonna just do this right over the top. Make room. I have extra. Why not? You guys can hear me say why not, right? And then I'll come back in a little bit and do my chicken kebab skewers. And you guys know that kebab only means grilling. So chicken grilled skewers, I'm gonna make them on those wooden skewers, and I'm gonna make it inside the kitchen, not outside on the grill. In a pan, I'll show you guys when I come back. That'll be dinner with some corn on the side, healthy, light. It's too hot to eat anything heavy. Here it is. This is done and doner. There's butter, there's tahini, there's sugar on there. Oh my goodness, so good. Try this and tell me. I will post the recipe for the dough because I did it yesterday and it disappeared. I will post that up for you guys. On the YouTube, it'll be there by hopefully the end of the week. Scrape that knife down and get it all over. Here it is. Why not? Let's get a little bit more of that tahini out there. A little bit more butter. Butter makes it all better. Everything is better with butter, right? There. In the oven, about 20 to 30 minutes, okay? You've got to keep an eye on it. You don't want it to dry out. It's supposed to be not soft like a cookie soft, but it's still supposed to be soft where you can just peel it apart and it'll crumble in your fingers. It's divine. Let me rinse my hand. Actually, I'm gonna stick it in the oven. In my oven, I'm putting it at 320. Okay, it's hot in there. Ooh. You know, I had it at 340 and it says 375 on my gauge. So I'm leaving the door open while I rinse my hand, and then I'm going to close the door, and I lowered the temperature. Always be aware of the temperature inside of your oven, not just what the outside says. Ooh, it's puffing up already. All right, my lovies, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe, and that way you'll be notified every time I post a new recipe. And that was for my YouTubers.